Heroes, gather tribute and earn my favor. Do it!
Oh my god!
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit!
Hello. This is the host. This is the host.
You don't even see him.
This is Fringe Average. I don't even have my mic plugged in, so my audio
Is
gonna be
that
shitty,
a
but-
ghost?
Oh man. Hello
So
everyone. This is
spooky.
your host Fringe Average. I'm here to say hello.
Maybe
And,
we better start moving our
You got
lips.
the
and it
host?
sounds
Screw
like
you.
this.
And I'm going to introduce everyone, and then I'm going to leave. So all right. So let's go ahead and introduce our master level player. That is Scott, who's calling in from San Francisco, California.
Hey, good to be here.
All right. Let's go ahead and introduce our gold type player. That is Old Backpack, who's calling in from Abu Dhabi. Let's go ahead and introduce our silver type player. That is Tower Baron, who's calling in from San Diego.
Not bronze anymore, huh? All right. What's up, Fringe? It's good to be in the Nexus.
Based on how well your team played on Bush League, it could be bronze. But anyway, let's go ahead and introduce our.
Was that my
other-
role or was that my?
Let's go ahead and introduce our other master level player. That is Bacon.
Hello. You
And,
ready
yeah,
for
so-
the memes?
Oh, is there a video?
There's gonna be a video later.
All right, I need to leave in a minute, so let me just finish this off. So, for those of you listening for the first time, we are the only Heroes of the Storm Hots podcast where we're explicit, and so the focus of the show is make you get better. Shit, I actually, this is really hard without my notes. Anyway, so the content of the show is to make you get better as a player. So we give you the latest tips and strategies every week so you can become better. So, all right, I'm going to go. Goodbye, everybody. I
Bye.
made it to the show.
Okay, well, there goes the ghost of Fringe. Yes, we are the Hots Podcast, and I'm your actual host, Old Backpack. Screw you, Fringe.
This is kind of a half-assed podcast with the host leaving within 2 minutes. I mean, what's up
I
with
know. Because he wants to say, hey, everyone, I'm here. And then he just leaves.
that? Yeah,
I don't give a
peace.
fuck.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
thought for sure he was going to talk about that. What was it? iTunes
Yes.
review and then leave, but he didn't.
Yep.
cool.
Here at
Yeah,
the Gankbush Squad, quality is our number one concern, as you can see.
And on that note, peace out.
And our number one failure.
We're all about
Yeah.
to leave right now.
Our number one ambition and our number one failure.
Number one
Yeah.
shortcoming.
Yeah.
I mean, we're the best trash can fire around, man. Okay. So yes, as Fred was saying, here's a show where we get better. We stream on Twitch every Wednesday at 9. Please give us more iTunes reviews. Someone for some reason liked the voice of Fringe Average and said how much they love his voice. How it was it like his dulcet tones
Yeah.
ease him to sleep.
Yeah.
Please read that review. Whoever
Yeah.
did that, sorry.
That was definitely sarcastic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well,
that's
if it's
the
true, they
thing
can
here,
listen
right?
to the intro on repeat, you know?
I mean,
Or maybe
knowing
he confused him with Daz. I don't know.
knowing that Jiggly likes to make like 16 Smurfs, I think it was Jiggly.
Oh. High probability on that. Good call.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I still think it's him. He wrote it himself. Like,
You mean Fringe? You mean you think he wrote it
Fringe
himself?
wrote it his own
Yeah.
dulcet tone.
That was my first guess.
Mm. Okay, well, if you like the Old Backpack dulcet tones, please leave a review. Okay.
And if
No
not,
one-
screw you.
Okay, yeah, so if you have questions for the show, you can email us at podcast@gankbush.com. Also, if you want to support us and help us pay for our costs, that's the hosts and the special guests and the casters, please support us on Patreon. We also have a YouTube channel that is starting to become more active as we get more videos up there. And of course, find us at gankbushsquad.com. So, for the announcements, once again, there's Bush League every Monday, 6 p.m. And one other thing, BlizzCon tickets. We have 3 based on the good graces of San. San bought 4, 3 of them going to us. So if you have any, you feel like you want someone to, well, to support, hey, there's us.
We'll pay
We will
for them. You have to
pay
mention
face
we'll pay
value
for them or
It's
not.
not like support as in like donate them, but
Yeah, exactly.
if you got any extra tickets, we are buying because we're trying to get the whole squad.
Don't forget Spotify.
What the hell
Oh
is that?
wow! Somebody
Get out of here.
Don't forget
Get out of
Spotify.
here.
We're on Spotify.
Yeah.
You're on the show or not?
We're legit. We're on Spotify.
Search for us on Spotify.
We just got ambushed.
You just
Yeah,
sat
we
down
had
and
gate
slept.
pushed.
All right. This is like a 20-minute intro. Let's get on with the goddamn show. Talk about the
Yeah, I'm
PTR.
getting there, man. Hell, yes.
Hurry up.
You have, I'm getting there. BlizzCon tickets. Have them. Give them to us. We'll pay you a moderate price. There's also the Friday Feed Fest. Fridays at 8 p.m. I'm always there. New Bush League website, Trolls League, bushleague.trollsgg. Also, the Trolls are now run by Ganj June. So, sorry, Goon Hots. And you come see them. He changed his name.
That's right.
Another thing, the new OBP special came out. There's a How to Tank video as Blaze. It is my melodious voice, and TB did a lot of the edits, and it's actually really, really good. It's the worst Blaze you'll see in your life, but it's very well edited. So congrats to TB for that one.
Well,
So is it you playing Blaze and commenting on all the mistakes you made?
No, it was just a game I played with Blaze where I was forced to last pick a healer and couldn't control anything about the game. It was really disappointing. So I figured I'd
Nice.
make fun of him publicly in a video. So
Oh,
the names aren't, blurred out or anything, so we all can see who that Blaze was.
classy. That's what I like to see. It's what we produce here.
And the best part is that the Blaze, right? When he casts his bunker, he has no idea how to exit. It's great.
Yeah. He just stays in it
casts
till it kind
It
of
waits for the
Are
duration.
you kidding me?
three
No,
times.
he waits the
Three
whole
times.
duration.
I put it in the
Yeah, if the bunker doesn't pop, he just stays in it.
There's
He's-
no one around him. He
yeah.
just
Trying to
It's
get that
the menu.
flamethrower value.
Okay, so Becky, you happy? Announcements are done. We can move on.
Yes.
All right, the main show is right now. We got a show for you today, and we start off with the Nexus Mania, which is probably the best skin they ever did. It's better than the Mech Wars. It's better than what the hell they've done.
It's not better than
Sun's
Mech
Out,
Wars,
Guns
but
Out.
it's pretty good.
No, dude, man, it's El Jefe Garage. Like
That's only because
bad.
they you don't play Tyrael and or Rhaegar. That's why you're not that hyped up.
material.
But that skin was the best though. These are good, but the Tyrael one was the best.
That intro's awesome with the wrestling poses.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
After
It's got to
growing
be
up
the
watching
most
this.
stylish, animated, event they've done so far. I love the look and feel of it, and the announcer too, the El
announcer is
El
good.
Guapo.
Guapo announcer. Yeah, only speaks in Spanish. So good.
Yeah. How all the moves are just like super animated. It's
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah.
That
So
dog
every
mount.
season,
That's
yeah.
so
I was like,
stupid.
the dog, it pants as it rides. It's like, it's like not even. It's really well done.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah. So yeah, there's
Sounds
a
like
new
more
Diablo
like a
skin.
complete thing than the other ones where it's just one or two skins or something. This one seems like it's like a whole thing, which is I think they haven't done since like Sun's Out, Guns Out almost.
Yeah, is this like a late like Cinco de Mayo like luchador type theme?
Yeah, it's a
Um,
little bit late for that. Like, 'cause
Yeah,
2
because I
weeks,
mean
right?
Cinco de Mayo just came. I don't understand like any other reason why they'd come out with the whole Hispanic themed wrestling.
I
Yeah,
think
Yeah, it's
Blizzard
'cause
really
it's
enjoys
May.
wrestling.
Oh, dude, did you see the Sonya?
Yes, the cage match.
Cage,
That
the
is
octagon or
That
whatever.
is awesome. What I gotta look up what that talent's called now.
It's Leap. That's Ariat Crater.
Yep,
Yeah,
Area Crater.
Area Crater
Well, it's
turns
Ariat
into
Octagon now.
an octagon that you can't leave.
So this
Nobody leaves
Goonhot
the
says in chat a good point. So this is one of the summer events. So is this one of the 2 summer events? So that means right after this is gonna be the swim themed one, the beach themed one.
Sun's out,
Sun's Out,
guns
Gun.
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, actually,
Sun's
Well,
out,
you
guns
don't-
out for Tychus at least.
yeah, but the Suns Out, Guns Out skins, they go back on sale now.
Yeah, I
addition to
saw that
this.
too.
Is that a re-release, or are they gonna
Yep.
like come out with new? They gotta come out with some new skins too. Blizzard's always trying to make money.
But no, it is
They
re-release.
they are a business.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I'm sure there'll be a couple more heroes added to the whole swimsuit theme.
Yeah, but that'll probably come in the next summer release. This is all Nexus Mania. So yeah, did you guys see the ETC skin where he's a freaking El Mariachi? Like,
I didn't see
it's
that
all
one.
just done well.
Yeah. And
Right.
they said for his mosh pit they're gonna change the music to fit the theme of the costume.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because
That's-
somebody complained like the PTR skin it only has the regular music, and then one of the Blivs does was like, we'll fix.
Yeah, that's a little bit lazy to just keep the regular like music for that. You gotta go and do something that
It has to be the Mexican hat dance. It has to be that.
Yeah.
A little on the nose, don't you think?
I wonder
What?
if they're gonna have something
A
for
little too on
Lucio
the
too.
nose.
Maybe he plays those Mexican tunes too. You know, amp it up.
Wait, isn't Lucio's Brazilian, isn't he?
Yeah, they could work that in somehow. Maybe.
Brazilian.
no Brazilians are
Aren't Mexican?
they speak
They
Portuguese,
speak
right?
Portuguese.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
a whole different language than Spanish.
And culture.
Well, it seems like they're just appropriating whatever character. Like Diablo's not really Mexican, right?
he's El
Yeah,
Diablo.
but
El Diablo.
You're saying like Brazilians and like the rest of Latin
Well, he's El
America. are the same.
Diablo. That's who he is.
All right. I
What
picked a bad
about
example.
Lunara? La
yeah,
Lunara.
Diablo means devil in Spanish. I mean,
Yeah,
I said I picked a
exactly.
bad example, but you know what I mean.
I mean, it's La Sonia. Also sounds Spanish. Mexican.
The Sonia.
It doesn't sound
La
Mexican. It
Lunara.
sounds Spanish. You don't say
Garage.
Garage.
El Garage.
Lunara. Lunara. Oh, that's hard to say for a Korean. My Asian tongue can't roll.
Okay.
But
Awful.
with this Nixamania comes 2 big reworks, and
Hold on,
Yeah.
hold on, Megan. Don't put us on track yet. We have to enjoy one more thing.
What?
They missed a huge opportunity where Diablo's E should do a German suplex. Like that animation should be different.
Oh, instead of just like he turns them over to the side or whatever, overpower.
It should be the full Streets of Rage suplex.
Yeah, or at least like a choke slam throw or something.
Yeah, they missed an opportunity there. And I really wanted to see a drop kick for the Q because I think, as Tower Brand once said, the drop kick is the
drop
most
kick.
inefficient move in the world.
Where Diablo just drop kick charges? Is that what you
Yeah.
want to see?
I do.
Powerbomb.
Might as well
That's
just
not
go
like-
full troll. That would be amazing.
Actually, powerbomb I think is more appropriate.
he's got the
Right.
shortest
Hold-
legs
hold
in the
it.
game. How is he gonna drop kick anybody?
He just jumps in the air and like flies across feet
Right.
first.
Yeah.
You just gotta like troll the ability.
Or he plants his feet like Donkey Kong. Plants his hands on the ground like Donkey Kong, and then pushes his
Yes.
body forward
Yes.
with his legs sticking out.
Yeah, that's right. He does got the shortest arms. He's like a reverse T-Rex.
Right.
Reverse T-Rex. El Diablo.
He's all torso.
Alright.
But yes, they missed a huge opportunity there. But with this patch and the great skins, you can see how excited we are for these skins. I'm gonna buy all of them. But there's also 2 reworks. There's the Lunara rework and the Diablo rework. So Bacon, you wanted to talk about this? Go for it.
Well, I didn't really have much time this week to play both the heroes, but I did watch some streams when I was able to catch when I had some time, and the Lunara one looks good. It really feels like on like first impression, not much has happened in it, but some of the competing talents that felt bad, like you really feel bad on Lunara sometimes because level 4 her Wisp talents is pretty much a
Yeah. She's got a level
Non-existent.
4 talent tree now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she actually has talents at level 4, and some of those talents that really felt bad picking between Well, those have been shifted to level 4, so you can like double dip on talents that you never were able to before this rework. So she feels like she can do more. What have you guys tried her out?
I played like one game in AI and one on the PTR. I tried to play more, but playing on the PTR, those queue times are long.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think she's gonna be pretty strong. In particular, being able to grab Nature's Calling at 4. I mean, for those of you who don't remember, Nature's Calling was the go-to talent at level 7 until about maybe a year ago, where Splintered Spear. Yeah, it got nerfed, and people started realizing the value of Splintered Spear in team fights. But the fact that you pick up both of them now, so you could spread your poison around and do insane siege damage, or just damage some bosses, damage to the immortal and whatnot. I really think that's going to be a huge, I guess you could say power spike, but it's just hitting everything besides heroes. But it's going to be very important.
Yeah, we might see her on BOE again, just because of that. Nature's Tolling will do a lot of work on the immortal.
Level 4, yeah, and then help snowball the game, because that's
Exactly.
just in time for the first immortal.
Exactly.
They also changed Unfair Advantage. They moved it to 16, and it works off of stunned and rooted targets instead of
slowed. Yeah.
Yeah, it worked on slows before, and that was it. So now it has more versatility.
That kind of seems like
supposed to.
Yeah. Sorry, what?
No, it works as it's supposed to, right? Because it's supposed to work, supposed to get bonus damage on CC targets.
It's like an Executioner, but for poison.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. As it's supposed to be.
Beg for Mercy, the very famous GM Lunara, who is basically level 300 Lunara. So that's all that's all he plays, and he is very much digging the new Lunara. So if that says anything for a level 300 Grandmaster Lunara, I mean, I'm definitely gonna take a look at her now. Like, I've been trying to find another ranged assassin to fit in ever since Greymane kind of fell off the meta, and it seems like Lunara might be one of them. And level 13, Let Them Wither, OP as fuck.
Let's see.
So what does that remind us?
All right, at level 13,
that's pretty strong.
Yeah.
If you press W, which is Crippling Spores, whoever has a dot or whoever has the Nature's Toxin gets slowed by 40%, decaying over 3 seconds. What this does at level 13, if you press Crippling Spores, it turns it to a 4-second, 40% slow, but it doesn't decay. So it's 40% for 4 seconds. What the fuck is that?
That's probably the strongest slow in the game, I'd say. To last 4 seconds for 40%, that is a huge amount of slow.
You are not going to
be stronger. That is, the only thing stronger that is standing in Thrall's Earthquake.
Yeah, or like Rhaegar's 16 talent slow.
But that only slows for 1 second.
I know, not 4.
Yeah. I mean, you're not leaving team fights if Lunara doesn't want you to leave. That's insane.
Doesn't that synergize with Phoenix's, I think, talent to do extra damage on slow targets? Doesn't he have one of those?
No.
That's only off of his Q, I think. He deals damage slowed by his Q.
His Q slow is on a different slow bracket. So he doesn't gain the bonuses from other slows.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if Lunara is slowing them, I don't think he gets any bonus damage because the slows don't stack. So it takes the greatest slow, which would be Lunara's. I think Phoenix slows by like 25%. So I don't think they're gonna get I don't even know if they get the debuff from Phoenix for Phoenix to get the increased auto attack damage.
No, you probably do. It just takes one and applies that slow, right? But you still get the Phoenix debuff for the damage bonus, right?
It'd have to be tested. one of those things I can't say for sure.
One of those myths of the Nexus.
I
Stop
was
it.
gonna say that,
Bring
but
it back.
I wasn't trying to, put bacon on the hook for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wait, one other thing is that level 20, your talent, Intensifying Toxin, that lets OP as hell in late game. Like that's the new Nazebo
Yeah.
ultimate.
Intensifying Toxin with Unfair Advantage seems like it would be
Right.
extremely strong. Coupled with Let Them Wither for increased slow duration too.
Exactly. You're gonna be
Yep.
slowed and poisoned at 3 stats. There's no.
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw looking at her, she basically looks like maybe a better Nazebo, where your
Exactly.
damage comes online huge late game, but you also have that early game siege potential, and you have pretty close to the same team fight potential you had pre-work. Her damage on her poison or trait damage got nerfed a little bit because Blizzard stated in the notes that she felt stronger overall, so they had to nerf her some way. So you're going to be doing a little less damage in team fights early game, but it'll be compensated for in other ways.
Well, now that she has talents that do stuff, now you should get stronger as the game progresses, so she can be weaker earlier. It seems more fair.
Yeah,
I think it's also not about talents that do stuff. It's also talents that don't clash with each other because they're on the same tier. That level 4 tier getting freed up. So
Right.
it helps so much.
and she's got a Q build. I haven't tried that yet. I'm not sure how viable that will be, but that might give her some versatility. If you're going Q build, that's going to be more skill shot based damage rather than poison damage. So
Beg for Mercy said that is the one with like you have a lot of heavy front line and want to burst somebody, then that's what you go.
I see.
yeah, it
Okay.
seems decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one other thing with the patch, they also have a new effect to show slows. So the slow effect should be much more obvious now. I haven't seen what it is yet. Usually, it's that purple waves thing by your feet, but this has to be more clear, so you know when you're being slowed.
Yeah. And then they once show slows under 5% or something like that too,
Yeah.
which I never really noticed. But another thing I saw with Lunara is that they upgraded the Wisp. They kind of been gradually updating that. Remember, you could kill with 1 shot. Now it's 2 shots.
That's 2.
Now it gives you greater vision only in a bush.
Mhm.
So I think they're kind of
And then
incrementally adding gameplay to it.
Well, Hanzo
Wasn't there
has
a
the same
long
ability,
cooldown?
but better. Yeah, it used to be like 5 seconds in between moving the wisp or something.
right.
Where now I think it's
Yeah.
like a second or 2. And it used to be like a minute cooldown before you could use it. Yeah, the wisp was terrible.
Yep, it was garbage. Which why the
But
level
don't-
4 sucked, because you always had to pick
Yeah.
Wisp talent.
Yeah, I like that they got rid of that because you look at, I already mentioned Hanzo. Hanzo's got his reveal arrow, but there are no talents that affect that, I don't believe.
Except for 20.
No?
Yeah, so he's got one talent. Where Lunara had a whole talent tree that was dedicated to
Making
You
it
know.
usable.
Yeah.
making it like non-terrible.
Also, I like the fact that putting it in a bush makes it better. So it says, "Hey everyone, put your wisp in a bush." It teaches the people how to use it, which is really important.
Well, I think people just cast the Wisp and not really look at it. We're talking about
Exactly.
about it
But now it
earlier.
says, "Wisp, go here."
It's more of like a team ability. I mean, if someone else plays Lunara, I don't think the rest of the team is looking at the other person's Wisp. If you're just playing QM or something else outside of a team match.
Yeah. Well, I mean, typically the wisp is in the bush that guards your flank. In lane, right? If Lunara's in lane, she's guarding her own ass,
Sure.
not yours.
Right.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
say that nature or siphoning toxin at level 4. I tried that out a little bit. It's the regen for that gives her some self-sustain. I thought that would be decent, but it's pretty terrible.
So
It's
You
still
know.
only a maximum of 1 target, right? So It's not like
only
Ana.
one target. Yeah, so you can't have it on multiple targets and heal. So it's a trap talent that sounds good, and then you realize the self-sustain is pretty terrible. If you're solo
nothing.
laning, it could be somewhat decent, but outside of that, garbage. Go something else.
Yeah, it requires you to have 3 poison stats on your enemy hero at all times, which is not going to happen.
It's a bad regen master.
It's bad. Yeah, what would Commander Akbar say about that?
It's a trap.
Thank you, Jeff.
Wait, first of all, isn't it Admiral Akbar, not Commander Akbar?
Am I getting lawyered here?
I thought it was Admiral Akbar, but
Admiral
I
Akbar?
didn't say Commander
Let's
Akbar.
let's ask the crowd. Is it Admiral Akbar?
It's
I
Admiral
believe he was a
Akbar.
fleet admiral. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that.
Motherfucker. Yeah, he's an admiral.
Lawyered,
Shit.
dude. Lawyered.
Lawyered
Know
for
your
Admiral
memes.
Akbar.
How you on this show if you don't know your memes?
Oh, God. Kappa.
It's okay. I hear Bacon's teaching a class later on this episode.
On memes.
Yeah.
Something like
Okay.
that.
Be prepared to get schooled. OBP.
Well, TB already got
Okay.
schooled a couple days ago in Bush League, but yeah.
That's all right. We were trying out a new strategy. That's all it was.
Yeah. Losing
Yeah.
strategy, but okay.
Oh, ouch.
Oh.
Ouch.
Actually, Bacon's the only one who's left undefeated, like you mentioned last week.
True.
And then he's gonna quit right before anyone can take him down. Is that right?
Exactly.
Well, it
Tire
is
undefeated.
unfortunate. I have no choice but to, but we'll see. Leviathan Fringe had to leave today to do something else, but it should be fine because we're here, right? Woo.
Yeah.
Right? Eh?
We got the
Lowest
best part of the
energy,
podcast
goddamn.
here.
All right.
I know.
So, Lunara rework, thumbs up, yes.
Yeah,
to go?
I like it.
Yep. One ETC thumb up.
She will probably creep back into the meta, which is good because I like her.
Yeah. Also, the ranged assassin pool has been very stale for a while with the Hanzo range, but now that he's been nerfed, it's a good opportunity.
True
Well,
that.
I just want to
Yep.
pose this one question. So on larger maps, Lunara was kind of at a disadvantage because she didn't have a mount and her added mobility was only, I think, 20% instead of 30% mount speed, so she was a little bit at a disadvantage.
Mhm.
They gave her that level 1 talent to increase her speed, I think, to
Yes.
compensate for that. So
It's called Hippity Hop.
Hippity Hop, yeah.
That's what it's called.
Like Cursed
It gives her
Hollow,
hip,
Warhead
hop,
Junction.
hip to the hop.
That's
Hip,
exactly
hip,
what
hop.
I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's like Mark
hop, you don't
Wahlberg.
stop.
There we have a white guy and a Korean guy trying to rap 80s some tunes.
Hey, you don't know the Korean rap scene? It's legit.
Oh, ooh.
Although I know nothing about it. I just
It's
know it's legit.
Nice. So legit.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
So the Lunara rework is good. It's very good. We're very proud with that. They also reworked El Diablo, and he has a huge change. Like everything about him is different now. Like his trait gives only 0.4% increase in health instead of 0.5, so he'll have a 40% bonus health pool instead of 50. His Q range, the shadow charge talent of the range increase is baked in, so now it sits at 8.5. It doesn't give armor. It gives movement speed instead, which is actually kind of a good what's called quality of life thing. Because if you did the Q and you missed your E thereafter, he'd be, oh, he's walked away. He's gone forever now.
You chase after him and just feel useless.
Yeah. So now you have a movement speed increase so you can actually catch up to the person E them behind you. Yeah, like his W used to be his ring of flame, and now it's a cone of flame that you can fire, and it heals you. Yeah, he's really different. Even his talents have changed a lot because like he has an auto attack talent now. It's weird. You actually pick the life leech talent level 4, then go like diabolic momentum, and a talent called cruelty gives them a 50% auto attack increase. It's just weird.
No one's gonna pick that.
No one should, but well, we think about it, right? No, if you have diabolical momentum and you have the cruelty, you can attack, you get way more value out of the momentum, right? It doesn't. It's worth testing. As Hero Physio says, if there's new talents, you have to test them and see where they fit relative to others.
I mean, Devastating Charge at 13 got completely changed. Yeah, I haven't done the damage comparisons. I haven't ran the numbers, but it no longer does percent damage.
Mm-hmm.
Where before,
I know the numbers on that.
Oh.
So since it was 15%, right, when it was maxed out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you calculate someone did the math on Reddit, and the new Q is better for 2 heroes, and that's like one of the Lost Vikings and Probius, and then all the other heroes, it's less damage.
Yeah,
by a
lot. I was expecting the break-even point to be like,
nope,
on like
Diva,
maybe like on like maybe like Thrall, you know, so that the squishies it didn't hit as hard, or the tanks it didn't hit as hard. Maybe the squishies it hit a little bit more. But yeah, that's a huge nerf. Then that means it doesn't hurt tanks for shit because that talent enabled you to, you know, just go after whoever. Where you know, early game it's like, oh, let me get this squishy out of place. But late game, when it does 15% life, and especially once you hit 16 and can do the double charge, you know, that's 30% of anybody's life plus whatever other damage you're putting on them. That's a huge chunk no matter what your health pool. And for it to hit way less,
it changes his talent.
He seems weaker.
Well, he's no longer there to chunt a tank. Like before, Diablo could kill the opposing tank almost by himself. It felt really good.
No, he just seems like a guy who can do okay damage and sustain somewhat well, but also disrupt the backline a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it seemed
that's pretty much, I think, on paper, that's what he should have done. But what he became with those talents was he goes in and deletes somebody, and the fight should be over, or Diablo's gonna die.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Yeah, he's unable to. You know, he's pretty bad at leaving. You know, if he's in, he's gonna win. He's gotta win, or you know, he probably ends up dying and losing his souls.
Yeah, sure that.
Speaking of his souls, like they have a lot of talents now, where like his fire stats give souls now. So he's not just reliant on minions dying for souls. He can get souls by being in combat, which is really nice.
It's not that much though.
Yeah, but it's better than just saying, okay, hold on, I gotta be in lane for the next 8 minutes to go back up to 100.
Right.
Yeah, it gives you a little something so that if you're doing it prolonged team fights, what it does is increases his viability on maps where you're not, you know, farming
BOE.
around minions a lot. You know, BOE.
Brass is different.
What's the 3-lane map? You got?
Well, Volskaya's kind of shitty too.
Yeah, like Volskaya. He'd be better on.
He's better now on maps where you don't have to be near lanes the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah, but like also like his new talent of where the W will reset after a Q and an E makes him really spammy. Like I've tried it before. It's weird to go like Q W E W Q W. It's really, really mechanically challenging.
Yeah, it's also because you want the most value out of Fire Stomp is on the return, right? But if you're QEing, you're throwing him away from the direction sometimes, depending on what part of the combo you're on. So, yeah, it seems difficult now.
Yeah.
His Fire Stomp doesn't hit nearly as hard now, too.
No.
The damage on that got gutted.
Mm-hmm. Well, because if you're casting it after every Q and every E, it has to be a lot weaker. That makes sense. But now that I mean, it's also your source of self-sustain, right? You heal from W, which is just weird. Yeah.
One of the things they listed on the PTR is like the return fire stomp is listed as critical damage.
Mm-hmm.
It says critical damage imply anything. Is there anything special about that?
Well, it's
Really cool
triple
indicator.
damage on the return, right?
Yeah.
The damage is
Is that what it
shit.
means? It just means
But
Critical just
can
means
that
triple?
damage not be mitigated or something? Like, is there anything special about that?
No,
Just big
it's just
numbers.
300
It
spell power,
just has that little critical indicator next to the
Yeah.
damage,
Mhm.
like when Vala vaults, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
right? That's all crit
Okay.
damage means is extra damage.
Mm-hmm. Remember the W still does shitty damage, so you're doing a shitty crit. It's not like it's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Like it's the illusion of good damage. But he feels really different because he's also way more mobile because he has movement speed after his Qs. But he has no more armor. It's a very, very weird feel for him. I'm not sure how I like him yet.
I think it's
But also-
cool. It's cool
Yeah.
because I think he was very like cooldown dependent, right? If you charge
Mhm.
in and then you flip him over, and then what can you do? You just fire stomp or wait for your cooldowns to come in.
Mhm.
And I think I like that playstyle more than sort of like that old Garrosh style where it's cooldown dependent. So I think it's good. I've never really played Diablo, but I'm more interested in him now than just sort of like a one trick pony type thing.
Yeah, well, as Bacon said, right? Diablo went in, he killed the target, and if he didn't, he died.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it was.
Yeah, I knew he was powerful, but it just seemed kind of boring. It's like sort of like Kerrigan with like the one combo.
Yeah.
Well, if he, yeah, but
Just
if
person,
Diablo
just
drop
person.
kicked you, that would feel really good, wouldn't it?
Going on about that drop kick.
I want that drop kick. uh,
But
okay.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
Cool. Mhm.
too soon to tell, right?
Too soon to tell. His playstyle is way too different. Like they changed way too many parts of his kit. It's hard to say where he is.
Yeah.
I do like kind of his lightning breath. Now it's CC.
Yeah, his
It
lightning
adds
breath
slow.
isn't terrible now.
Mhm.
People don't
I
just
would-
get lightning breath and I'm just gonna dodge it and easy.
Yeah, or you just walk around him in a circle. That's the old way to beat him.
Well, you can
The
still
Lord
turn
of, the
when
Lord
you
of
cast it.
Terror can't move.
It's like
Still
you
move
see
around.
the enemy Diablo lightning breath and like, okay, let's all report this guy, guys. He's obviously
Yeah.
not trying
Yeah.
to win this game by picking lightning breath.
Yeah.
No,
Diablo
no.
rooted himself. Kill him.
No, me and old backpack would do easy bake oven with Leoric. That was
Yep, that was fun.
that was our combo.
That
Where the
was really
entomb
fun.
into the lightning breath, we
Yeah.
pulled that off a few times.
Except lightning
Ooh.
breath doesn't hit that hard, so they just walked away at half health.
That's right.
Yeah,
was
it
cool
didn't
to
work
pull
that
off.
well.
And Leoric dies because Leoric's gonna die, obviously.
Yeah, because you're squishy.
Yeah.
It was a fun idea.
It's just fun to
I have
pull
no
off.
regrets.
It's just fun to pull off.
Also, it's called
You,
the Easy
you
Bake
could do
Oven.
like a flaming washing machine, Sonya area crater with Chen going and Barrel, and then Diablo doing a breath. With Planet
The fiery
Cracker.
washing machine.
You can
I like
replace
that.
Diablo's lightning breath with Cho'Gall's machine gun, whatever that is. You can
Ooh,
do
that sounds
too.
good too.
Oh yeah.
That's what we were trying to pull off in Bush League. We never pulled that off.
Oh,
All right.
yeah. So
Well-
he's good.
I
It's a
don't
very
know.
fun change for him.
His
like
burst
stopping things.
damage went away. I'm not convinced. It seems like he'll do like more sustained damage probably, and he's got more self-sustain, but a huge part of his identity was once you turn 13, all of a sudden you do a ton of damage, and you're not just a tank, you're a damage dealer as well. And
Mhm.
that went away, and I'm not sure he gained that much to compensate for that.
Yeah. We'll see if EBS still one tricks went Diablo now. That's the real real
Yeah,
test.
so the real question is he gonna get banned in Bush League now?
Oh,
Or are they gonna let it go through? How big of a threat is Diablo now?
Yeah. Well, I asked him about it, and he said, "I'll get on it." He didn't say thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah. I'll wait in
Okay.
this half-hour queue for PTR and maybe get one game in.
Yeah. All right, so we'll see what Diablo does. I'm interested to see him. I like Diablo a lot. Hopefully, it's a good change. Other thing, general changes in the game. In the MVP stream, you can't vote for yourself.
Damn
never
it!
vote for myself.
Now I'm
Who
never
votes
gonna
for
get
what?
votes.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
up with that? I'm the MVP every single game. I mean, how are they gonna ignore this?
Yeah, so now no one's going to vote ever again because people just vote for themselves.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I never voted for myself. That's just
I sometimes vote for
that's
myself
greedy.
to put me over. Like if I'm
Yeah.
3, I want to go 4. If I'm like 6, I'll go
Narcissism.
8.
Yeah, okay.
at its
Okay, that's
finest.
the only time I do that. Yeah, is to get that status. Was it legendary status? Whatever.
Yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
whatever.
Mhm.
And they reduced the requirement from 4 to 3 and then 8 to 7 to make up for it.
Mhm.
So that's
That makes
nice.
sense.
Wait, what do you get after 8?
Legendary,
seen
and then
more
you
than-
glow yellow and shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a 10? I've never seen 10 ever
seen that.
before.
I've seen that.
Was it 4 and 8 or 5 and 10?
It was 4 and 8.
I know it's
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
It's 8. I've seen 8 like 3 times in my life.
I've gotten legendary one time and that's it. But yeah. And then I was the one vote to put it over, so apparently it's But
Okay.
another cool change, Infernal Shrines, the southernmost camp, the one at 6 o'clock. Now instead of when you're capturing it, it goes directly left or right depending on what side of the map you're on and starts attacking the bottom wall and bottom tower. It's gonna go north first and then turn around. So it's gonna go into the lane before turning around to attack whatever, which is better in my opinion.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's way better.
Yep.
I mean, the other camps, if you steal the other one, they'll still attack that side wall and then that bottom tower. But it didn't really make sense for the one on the bottom to do that. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a nice quality of life
Of
change.
life. Yep.
Yeah.
yep.
Okay. Also, there are Season 3 ranked play enhancements coming. And they will say that Season 3 will start in July 9th instead of June 11th, so it's pushed back almost a whole month. But with the new change, they have third bands being added, and the 2 bands at the first band phase, not the middle phase. So they're the 2 newest released heroes. And MMR decay is also being added into it. So they're showing that different leads, like Grandmaster, Master, Diamond, they have different number of days before the decay begins. So if you're a Grandmaster, you have 10 days before the decay starts. Master is 15, and Diamond is 20. So
And depending
everyone wants
on
rank decay. Yeah.
well, yeah, and it starts at diamond officially, but they said the other levels from platinum to below, they have their own different rules because, like, let's be honest, silver and gold-ish players, it's not like their level of play is completely down the toilet because there was some decay.
Damn
Right.
straight.
Toilet.
Yeah.
It's always been the toilet.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your play might actually improve if you take some time off at that level.
But for Grandmaster, it's 10 days before ranked decay starts. But if you're also very active, you can earn some extra credits up to 10 days. So instead of 10 days before ranked decay, you can do 20 days and then go take a vacation or something, like they said in this post. But this is great. Finally.
Finally.
30 days for diamond players, even if you're really active and then you skip a month. Rank decay starts after a month. For master, 25 days if you're very active before you go inactive, which is kind of fair because a season is 3 months ish, more or less. So now we don't really know the specifics of how much decay once it starts. Is it like 20 points a day or like what's up? But
We'll find out.
yeah. And then does it stop at a certain point? Like we don't really know that,
Yeah,
but that's good that we finally have it. Maybe hopefully they release some more details as to what the exact rules are if there is a limit to the decay. But along with these changes, more cool things of trying to fight against players abusing the matchmaking system to get higher in ranks. So first time ranked accounts like Smurfs cannot seed into placements higher than Gold 5. You can play quick match and win all you want, but the highest MMR you'll get out of that is Gold 5. And even if you win games 10 straight and climb up very high, you can only place Platinum 5 at the highest. No more Master, no more Diamond 3, Master 1000 bullshit with Smurfs. If it's your first time playing in ranked. And there used to be some tricks that even some win timers I know took advantage of, where they skip the season completely so they can soft reset their MMR, and hopefully they hope that their quick match MMR or unranked MMR is high enough so they can like coast up to a higher placement if they don't play Hero League for an entire season. And you can't do that anymore. It's only gonna use your most recent Hero League history. So even if you skip 2 seasons, I'm not gonna name any names, but I know of certain people.
Is it more than one person?
Yes.
What?
Wow.
But
Hey.
now on your main account, you can't skip. You just gotta grind it out.
Right. Was this to get like what, 2 ranks, or like what kind of?
Well,
discrepancy
it's like
we talking
from
about?
silver. I'm silver 3, and then if I do this, maybe I'll get gold 5. You know, things like that.
Well, that's not. It's not even worth it. I thought maybe you were talking about you jump up like to platinum something or something, or like if you're
Tarvan
silver.
is much more offended than I thought he would be about that.
I mean, it seems like it's not even worth it to do that. To try to trick your way into like 2 ranks up or something. Come on.
Yeah.
Says the man who tricked himself into 2 ranks up by doing a Smurf account.
I wasn't gonna bring it up.
I did it legit.
You didn't do that shit legit. You also abused Smurfs like first time placement to glide into Hero League using your quick match MMR. I mean, that's not.
I still
You won the bet
Slowly
last year,
top
but let's not
back
kid
down
ourselves.
something.
You abused the system, and
I
now
didn't
you
abuse
can't do it
anything. All
anymore.
the games I won because I outplayed those silver and bronze players.
Yes, you did,
So
and you got free
Also,
beer
with
out
the-
of it. So congratulations at BlizzCon.
Yeah,
All right.
We easy bake oven to all the people, right? And that gave you the MMR boost.
that's why I just picked Vala. I dominated. That's all that happened.
And Varian. Let's not forget Varian.
Varian
Yeah,
and old Varian. The
Twin
stand
Blades
there
Varian.
and Twin Blades till you die Varian.
Blades.
That's right.
All right. And now ranked queue times will be more weighted towards even matches than more quick queue times. So higher level players will see an increase in queue times, but hopefully with better quality matches, because we've all seen those Reddit threads of Munefair and other high level Grandmaster players being matched up with like Gold 3 players randomly. And because at midnight or 2 a.m, there's not many people playing, so hopefully those situations don't happen anymore.
Yeah.
No,
Hopefully,
I found there's always people playing. At least in my level. I don't know.
Well,
about
you are
that.
in the 60% like population bracket, and then you're comparing that to the top 0.5% of the player base.
It's always good for me. I'm playing whenever. Morning, late at night. It's all good.
Yeah, because everyone's on at your level. There's only 200 Grandmasters, and they might all be sleeping.
I think Tarbrand is saying doesn't affect me. I don't care.
Like, I just don't know what you're talking about. Like, you have to only play at certain times, like hot spots, whatever.
Hot spots, really?
Hot
That's what we're doing?
spots.
Different
Nice.
world there in silver than
6 to 10
Grandmaster.
p.m. Is that it? That's all
Now,
the time you play.
I'm defending the change because obviously it's a good change. But personally speaking, I'm at the fringe master level right now, and it like the lowest I see is Diamond 3 or Diamond 2. So it's not like I'm suffering from this problem myself. It's like, if you're top 10 Grandmaster and then you get placed with a gold player, that's what
It's bad.
Gold to platinum is 5,000 points. Diamond is 5,000 points. Grandmaster top 10 is probably about 12,000 points. So there's a
Nah, those
22,000
don't mean
point
shit.
difference between. What?
The Grandmaster points don't mean shit.
I mean, but it's
Those-
still a 22,000 point difference between those two players.
I'll give you 16,000.
All right, 16,000 points. That's still a
those
shit ton of points.
Grandmasters that are 18,000 this season. 3 seasons ago, they were 6,000. The Grandmaster points are inflated right now.
Well, yeah, you and I both agree, but still, that kind of stuff should never happen, right?
It's 3 tiers difference.
Yeah. Okay, but yes, that's good for us. Ranked play is getting better, right? Any other final thoughts on that?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. So the next topic then, La Bush League.
Oh, Bush League.
La Bush League. Bush. Not Bush.
Not really much to say on that topic.
No, nothing happened there, right? Nothing happened at all.
Yeah.
Nothing happened in that top lane when you don't leave it. I'll say that for sure.
You gotta stay up there when your team's down to experience. You know what I mean?
Two
When
big
in doubt, go
stomps.
top.
It was Fringe's team dominating Daz's team, Team 4, and Brax's Hold On, and then it was Zex and Zex's team, the team I'm on, pounding down Tower Baron's team in Dragonshire. Why'd you take us to Dragonshire? It's like,
Well,
What's
here's
your worst map?
here's the thing. I actually planned out to go to a different map, and then when we got the call to pick map, the team's like, "Oh, why don't we go to Dragonshire?" I'm like, "I don't know about that. You guys sure? You guys know how to do your rotations? Like, I'm gonna be solo lane. You guys cool with that?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're cool." Or they just didn't
Yeah.
speak up, and then when it actually came to execute, it looked like they had no idea what. Well, I'm not gonna say anything bad, but it looked like they had.
well,
They
It
were
was-
not. They were. Illidan got to him. It looked like
you
Illidan
could
got to him.
say Blemsy is not very practiced with Gul'dan.
We actually based the entire comp off of Gul'dan because he
Oh, really?
said he was been practicing all week with Gul'dan and we should pick Gul'dan.
Where were the rotations? I never saw the 4-man ever together. There was always 2 or 3 of them together at most.
That has been a major topic of discussion post game for us.
Yeah.
We will get back to you on
Yeah.
that.
Also, 0 important rotations from bot lane down to mid or from top lane
Ooh,
down. to mid
Blemsy
or bot.
calling out the team. Yeah, tough to Gul'dan 1v4 without a tank. On that note, here's a video.
This is up in the air right now. I do like Please Don't Ban Diablo's draft a lot more, just generally speaking.
Yeah.
Did they practice
Yeah,
this,
we heard.
right? That's the question.
Oh man, I heard this too.
I think that's the question.
I-
to know how they're going to do this.
I think they did. They had to have practiced this. They know how they want to play. They know what their play style is, what their strengths are.
That is
Leviathan is going in! Leviathan! Go down there. There's a root. There's a silence again. With the silence, is he gonna drop it? No, he's gonna punch him to death. Power slides away. Oh no! Censors! And he gets Mars coming out, but I don't think it's enough. It's a little too late. EDS graphics. Oh no, nice smosh, but GG's. Well played. Fuck that booty real good. Comes out with the victory. Soaking.
Bacon carry, dude. Bacon is carry. Look at that. He won the DPS by 1 point.
No, the true carry was Leviathan, in my opinion, on this
No,
Stukov.
I agree. Yeah,
His
100%.
Stukov play was so good. I want him in my Hero League games. I want that guy in my games.
All right, that was 25 minutes well spent.
Yeah.
I agree.
I
I
can't
hope
say
that
I'm
hits the,
surprised by the results.
I hope
I
my
don't,
other
there's a
team
lot of
never
solo
see that.
Doldon there. What happened to the team? Like, why is Doldon by himself the whole time?
That meme just baited out some bits from Leviathan. Thanks,
I
Leviathan.
know.
Where
But
was
yeah,
the team?
I hope my team watches that meme and a fire gets lit underneath. Over
Please
there.
don't ban Diablo had Gul'dan. They had the superior wave clear because
They
the other
did.
side was rotating with 3 melee. 2 of them were tanks, so their wave clear wasn't anywhere near as good.
Yep.
Why was your team behind on wave clear?
In the beginning, it looked like they were trying to intercept killing off the well on top lane, because we know that's kind of a strat that's been played out in some of the scrims. So once they got up there, they weren't sure when to leave, and then the rotations got messed up from there. And then I think people got tilted on comms. No one really was talking that much anymore. I just see pop-up deaths. So that's it's something we've chatted about post game. So we have a different strategy next week, and definitely I'm going to be more, I guess, assertive in my decisions and not letting the team sort of democratically overrule my decision. So I'm going to say, no, that's a stupid idea. We're doing this. So I got to do more of
I
that.
say, show it all comps. That's what you need.
I will say I knew you guys were in trouble from the start of as soon as the draft ended. I was like, oh, these guys are gonna get beat down because we played against FTBRG and some like half-ass scrims or whatever, and they ran a very similar comp on Dragonshire and basically did the same thing.
Yep. I mean,
you guys weren't prepared for that, so
our teams
I knew it wasn't going to end well.
And that scrim, that on that side, it was you, Scott, and Zunicorn. So I think, right? But
yeah. Well, we had a stitches, so we didn't have any sort of tank peel. But
Jiggly stitches.
But yeah.
The biggest thing my team has worked on the past couple of weeks, over and over again, I reiterate it, is comms on who to target and cleaner rotations. So a lot less of the, I'll kill this minion before I mount up and go to what the call was, because our comps are, or the comps we try to draft, it's so tight in what like executing that 1 or 2 second rotation to kill somebody. So I'm really happy or glad that the guys have been so receptive to the criticisms, because I straight up call them out, like, and I call myself out too if I fuck up, like, oh, okay, that was my mistake, my bad, guys. Or like, Leviathan, you gotta stop clearing minions when this call is made and just follow us. And
so you made that call for Birdie and jump over the wall.
Zexer you just gotta let him go, right? He's like a pit bull.
All right.
Just don't stick him on Kerrigan and you'll be fine.
Just gotta cut him loose,
right?
It's like
and
Dennis
that's exactly the reason I gave him Muradin, was because I knew he was gonna do shit like that, and I wanted him to be on something tanky. So
yeah,
if he's gonna act all dumb like that.
Biggest takeaway: ban Varian. Varian's the initiator in pretty much all those team fights. Did the exact same thing against Tower Baron Squared with the Varian pick. Break up that point and click easy initiation.
We're not a one trick pony though.
I'm not saying you're a one trick pony. I'm saying I ban that out and make Bacon's team work for it at least.
Yeah.
Or give me all my heroes. Yeah, okay.
give him a challenge.
Give me Thrall, the hero I want to play the most. Yeah.
Well, we actually thought that team prioritized a lot of their team fights around an Uberak and the Cocoon. So that's why we banned that out in the beginning, first ban.
Meta changed.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna put this out there. You try to ban around me,
What?
those other guys are gonna get their picks. But you try to ban around them, I'm gonna get Thrall. So good luck.
We weren't really that scared of Thrall, to be honest. So
Mm-hmm.
Top damage.
because we figure you have more heroes in your pool, than the other characters, the other players in your team. So, we actually thought we had Leviathan in a pinch by banning Lucio because he had never displayed any other support besides Lily or Lucio. So
Leviathan has a decent hero pool.
Look at the front line. They had Varian, Muradin, and Thrall. You have 3 seconds of crowd control to set up a silence.
Yep.
Whoever got caught in that, I think one person survived their initiations for gank rotations out of like 9.
Yeah.
That's a terrible survival rate.
Yeah. Don't worry. Next week, I've reined in the team. There's no more democratic. Oh, I think we should do this stuff. I've got to rein it in. So I gotta play tough boss now. Tough
That's
love.
not the American way.
It's tough love now. I gave it their way because I was on vacation last week and I thought they could, maybe come up with something or prepare it a little bit. But I think it's better if I rein it in now.
You need a tryhard on your team. FTBRG has Bacon. Tower Baron Squared has Fringe.
Yeah.
You need somebody to come up with these to improve your draft.
I did that the previous weeks. It's just last week I didn't because I was out. So I just kind of winged it. I winged it and I changed my decision last second, even to Dragonshire. But next week I just gotta ignore that static chatter. So
The chatter, you mean like your teammates? Some
it's like, no,
opinions?
we don't want to do that. No, you're doing it. I gotta play like a parent now. So
Okay.
like, no, that's not a good idea. So
Okay. Well, so yeah, mostly with a fun stomp. You can see Tower Bear get quashed, or you can see Fringe just keep dazzing a in infinity. It seems like
1 week, 1 week you stomp, the next week you get stomped. Last time we played that team, we stomped them. So it's like
that's true.
you give and you get. So,
But I mean, that was pre-Bacon.
Bacon's only played like 2 games, right? 2-3 games.
Undefeated.
3
His
games.
leadership's been impactful. I'll say that.
Yeah. True that.
Is that saying something good about Bacon or something bad about Rosai?
Oh. No.
I don't know.
I don't know about the
Rosai played well.
team synergy before this whole thing, but Zexer is like every other day he comes up to our Discord and suggests some kind of meme comp, and I'm just like, nah, that's not.
Yeah,
good.
no, that's exactly what gets pandered to me, and I'm saying I kind of listen to
Pandered?
it. Yeah,
Man.
like you know what I mean.
Isn't
Hey,
it
how
like
about
my
this?
peons tell me?
How about this? Like, are you sure? Like, yeah, I practiced it. And like, no, you haven't practiced it.
How about an easy bake oven comp? How about that?
All right. I got something planned for next week, like the day after I send out something what we're gonna run. So it's all
Okay. Well, then we look forward to the new Tower Baron improvement with the.
that we're playing against
Iron
Team
Hand.
4, so against Team 4, so it won't be that bad.
Wow.
That's the Team 4 win. We called it.
It's possible. If we lose a Team 4, we've hit a new low. Then I don't know.
I can see it happening.
Called next
Easily.
week the morale booster.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what we're banking on.
Put some
Like-
runs on the board.
Buff up the stats.
Okay. Well, anyways, so you guys want to do the TLV discussion?
Let's do that later. I thought
Or
we
the
were gonna do-
balance AMA.
Yeah, the balance.
Yeah, the Bounty AMA. We can do that. Yeah, so there was a dev talk, the Bounty AMA, where they talked about, well, what's coming to the Nexus. And one of the important ones is that, one that I saw is that Raynor is finally reworked. Like, finally. His trait won't be like, was it Cyber Vision, it was called, where he has increased range to look that equal of Hanzo. who
Range
has
and vision,
not.
right? He has range and sight, I think.
Ah, yes.
Trait.
Yes. But it's called like he likes to say it's called like cybernetic eyes.
Something
He
like
doesn't have
that.
those.
Advanced optics.
Yeah.
Yeah, advanced optics, but he doesn't have. He has ordinary human eyeballs, right?
He's
Never
got that
mind.
marine helmet.
Well, yeah, it just depends which
Just
skin.
scroll on it.
Yeah. Seeing through the painted skull makes his vision worse because it's obscured.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like a scouter or something, you know?
What, it's over 9,000? Is that what it says?
Gives you extra detail on who's there. Like maybe it gives you like an infrared thing, like Predator or whatever.
It's just Predator.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that. Yeah, he didn't rework. So yeah, he'll have an actual talent. Thank God. They also said that Tyrande may lose more of her burst damage, get better AL damage, which is it's okay. AL damage doesn't really do a whole lot. Just AL damage gets healed by the healer over time. So it's kind of more damage, but it's wasted damage. Yeah. Yeah.
That spot.
Yeah, Tassadar is going to be unchanged for a while. One thing that was very cool to me is that they said that the heroes, 70% of the heroes are within a 48 to 52% win range. So almost all the heroes, for the most part, balanced, which I didn't know. And they said, yeah, people think someone's OP, but no, they're not. They're all pretty equal. You're all just noobs.
That's an overall. You got different heroes are much stronger or weaker at different levels. You know, like Gazlo's pretty good, you know, at like silver level, but at master he's pretty bad.
True.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Masters ranking will always be skewed, right? Because the meta starts mattering more and more. But yeah.
But it's nice to know that 70% of the heroes are about the same power level, which is nice to know. It's better than we thought. You don't have to always pick Phoenix and Stukov.
And apparently right now Ariel's the highest healer
Cool.
overall, which is interesting. Just a couple of little changes here and there to her ability to get more hope. And she shot up from like bottom 5 to the best.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Also,
nuts.
that E talent is nice. The greater push distance, so you always get to stun off.
I think that's the biggest buff to her is the increased push distance at level 4.
Yeah. That's like fringe average reading things there, Scott.
Yeah. English is hard, guys. Come on.
Yeah. English. Okay. Yeah, they're also finally acknowledge that maps snowball. Some of them do, which is pretty obvious. I don't know why they had to say yes. We know this happens. Like Julia Braxis ends in the first 12 minutes in pro games.
And
it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, everyone kind of universally hates Braxis for
yeah.
that reason.
Yeah, it's usually decided before level 10.
Yeah. The first Zerg wave gives you a 70% win chance if you win it. It's massive.
It's like, no, it was in the 90s or something.
90s?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like whoever gets the first tower down or whatever, right, from the wave.
Whoever gets the first Zerg wave, yep.
Yeah.
Ends up winning.
Jeez. Okay.
Because it's so team fight based, and if you're up a tier because of you got the first Zerg wave, then you're always winning fights or consistently winning fights more, and then you get another Zerg wave out of it, and then that just keeps your level experience up the entire game, and you can't really out soak the enemy since there's only 2 lanes. And yeah.
I do have to say that at least as far as gold and below, Ragnaros is super strong because of his defense and his ability to clear the wave. He can kind of push that off and at least have some play, like counterplay. But he's actually the only one who can do that. That's why he's like first band, second band.
On Braxis? Consistently?
Yeah, Ragnaros. Yep, double lava wave, level 20. It's so hard to push into that just because it just counters that wave so much.
That is really interesting.
As well. Yep.
Ragnaros gets blown up so easily in the higher levels.
You have focus.
So,
people know that. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the coolest things is that Asmodan is gonna get some changes in the coming months.
Finally.
They specified. Taste for Blood is now going to be baseline, which is fucking awesome. I wonder if it's going to be 500 or they're going to change the numbers around.
Nah, that's gotta be nerfed. It's probably gonna
You
be
think so?
like one damage
1,000?
per stack or something. No, it's probably gonna be right now. It's like 2
2 damage.
damage per stack per minion. I think it's gonna be nerfed down to like 1.
1 damage per stack. Damn.
That's
Yeah.
a huge nerf.
Well, if it's baseline and you're getting a whole nother, if you get baseline Taste for Blood and you get like the other dunk talent that gives you like damage too.
That's true. But I mean, that is Asmodean's one way to help a team fight. It's a Q every 9 seconds.
Or
Like,
the only way, basically.
yeah, that's all he does. Then he has demons at scout.
And apparently,
Right.
all his level 1 talents are different ways for him to get more Taste for Blood stacks through other means, like using his laser or summon ability. So that'll be interesting to see what they do. Summon Demon Warrior, baseline, damage aura, kind of like Burning Rage. And the laser's not going to be infinite anymore. It's going to be high DPS for a short time.
So there's no more like control.
that'd be cool.
Oh, come on. I love all-shell burn, and then you just kind of have him in.
It's so trolly. He just stands with his head in the air.
It's so trolly.
Right?
But he did beat Illidan. Like, Illidan went on Asmodean.
Yeah.
That was
It
the
just,
one
it just
thing.
looks so hilarious. Like he's not
I
using
mean-
his other hand, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so his head just
Like, why
out
don't you just
there.
put out 2 lasers, you know, with the free hand?
But I hope they realize that Asmodean's base kit just sucks ass, and it's so talent dependent. Like if you go one route, like if you go laser build, then your Q is dog shit, completely useless, and then vice versa. If you go Q build, then your laser's
Laser.
worthless. So I hope they make the base talent or base kit
Yeah.
somewhat better.
Yeah, like,
Well, they
mentioned I used
mentioned.
to main Asmodean, and like his E didn't exist. You just don't cast it because it's a waste of mana. So the globes cost too much.
Yeah. Well, they mentioned a while ago that they're like redefining how they change roles. And the specialist is kind of like an archaic aspect of HOTS where it's just like, oh, all you do is primarily siege damage. And I think they're going to, nerf his siege damage, his ability to, push lanes and give him more team fight. So that's what I'd expect out of that rework.
Okay, that'll be fun. Also, a big thing is that there's going to be a movement and range creep addressment. So, like, you know how Chromie can Q you from outside of sight? They're going to fix that. Same with Hanzo. You also want to put a new, like, anti-mobile mechanic to punish the Genjis and the Tracers who are hyper-mobile in a way to make them, well, punished for this huge movement creep that's been happening, which is really good.
Yeah,
This is-
mobility creep.
I mean, this is stuff they've already been doing with the most recent patches, like Genji and Hanzo getting nerfs, like little nudges.
Tracer's Q got nerfed with a
Yeah.
huge increased cooldown.
So it's nice that we know it's a problem. They know it's a problem. They're actively working to make sure it's more balanced. And now that mobility is a little bit less of an issue than it was, they're also saying that range is also going to be more looked at. And obviously, last week, Hanzo was nerfed a little bit to make up for that. Chromie is still a big issue. Yeah, maybe Hammer might be looked at, but probably not because that's pretty core to her kit. But it seems
Well, but I mean,
nice that-
Hammer should have the largest range. Right? Hammer, the siege tank, should have the largest range in the game. Like, Chromie should not be able to just poke him for free,
right.
right? That just feels bad.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
And Schizos has a nice comment. Maiev was supposed to answer mobility creep. Instead, she became the mobility creep, right?
True.
And she was also supposed to be anti-mobile, but she was just anti-everything.
Yeah, she didn't lock down the mobile hero. She just locked down like the front
The
line
fat
and
asses who can't run away.
everybody who wasn't mobile, she locks down.
Right.
It's like opposite.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that'll be really interesting how they can hurt mobile characters without hurting anti-mobile. That'll be. There was like in Dota 2, there's the Bloodseeker, which is an interesting mechanic they can bring into HOTS, which is he can put a dot on a player where if the player moves, they take damage, but if they stand still, the spell doesn't do any damage, which is like a bleed effect.
Yeah, that wasn't awesome.
Yeah. So
Talent.
it might.
Dota All Stars. That's the original.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like, was the damage increased per distance traveled? That seems really cool.
No, it was just a static amount of damage.
Okay.
But the more you run, the more damage you take, and it was like a substantial amount of damage that it would deal. And the Bloodseeker hit like a truck too, so you wanted to run away but couldn't.
That's cool. Okay. So with that, we can move on. I guess Kerrigan didn't look at, and multi-class is being removed. Thank God. But yeah. Do you want to move on to the draft analysis? Because
I guess we
we're
should
doing
clarify
something new.
multi-class. It's not getting removed from variant. It's just they're getting rid of the
Classification.
category and classification, making him more like a warrior bruiser categorization. Yeah.
Which he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Want to do the draft analysis?
I did want to talk about the topic
Julie?
on finding non-meta strategies.
Sure.
So
Let's talk about the please don't ban Diablo strat of the non-meta
Non-meta
strategies.
strategies. Let's talk about Heroes of the Dorm. Did you guys see that game? There was a game on Braxis Holdout where the team went Cho'Gall and
And
Abathur.
Abathur.
Holy
So
crap.
they had
won,
3
right?
bodies. Yeah, and they
Did it
won.
work?
It was like
No
in the
way.
Final Four.
Holy
Heroic
shit.
4. Yeah.
wait, how'd they pull it off? Was it just they had better team fight, or did they just ran into him, or what?
They had
Was
an
it a
Alex
solo
Straza to heal the Cho'Gall.
Alex
the-
Straza.
Yeah, because she does percent heal.
Yeah.
The Cho'Gall was getting cloned, so all you're getting is a Cho. So I don't know how that's really that useful. I don't think Cho is that impactful. He's just super tanky, so you're not going to really kill that clone before the time expires. And they had a Phoenix who I think he just a lot of times just planet crackered from far away because he was a solo laner.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. That's a non-meta strat.
Yeah. I didn't know about that, but Bacon and I and another unnamed Windtimer Gankbush squad member, not Gankbush squad member, but fan, had a discussion about whether it's worth trying to find non-meta strategies and synergies outside of the HGC pro player meta. And it kind of got me thinking with that stat that old Backpack threw out, was that most characters, 70%, are sitting at 48 to 52% win rate. So are there really powerful combinations, and should you only focus on looking at the HTC pro play synergies and combos, or should you be trying to figure out stuff for yourself, like with that Heroes of the Dorm, Cho'Gall, Abathur type of strat? I mean, are you only trying to play the game the same as the pro players, or are you just trying to find new synergies and stuff yourself? Is it worth even going that direction? So I know Bacon said that it's full of shit. Just copy what the pros do. It's no I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it was something like that, right, Bacon?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a meta whore. We all know this. I've admitted to it many times. It is the way I like to improve myself, just by copying what the best people do and seeing if I can do it just as well as them. And it's carried me in other games, and it's done me well in HOT so far. I just don't grind as much as I used to. But the pro players in HOTS, they have their meta, and they've realized that with our current skill set or our current mechanics and ability to communicate and our teammates, we figured out that these heroes are the easiest for our path to victory. And that's the kind of question that you need to ask yourself for your play level, because we all know different heroes have different win rates. Gazlo is really good in the lower levels, but he falls off towards the later levels, obviously, because he gets, not even nowadays. Nowadays, Gazlo's been pretty good in the upper levels, but traditionally, he's fallen off the higher up you go because the meta changes as the mechanics change. And, I play what the pros play because I am somewhat in a place where I can try to emulate it. But
the question I have for you, Bacon, is that all these strategies and synergies are all developed by someone else, right?
Yep.
Someone else just like you. So why don't you try to come up with your own own synergies and talents and things like that and strategies if they're all just developed, created out of thin air by other players just like you? Is it?
For me, I'm in a spot, like I said, that I can give those pro meta strats an honest try and get something out of it. But I'm also not in a position where I'm really creative and can look at all these patch changes and see the matrix code and say, oh, these heroes are going to be in the meta. I'm not that kind of player. I learn and I improve through repetition. And I'm not a creative guy, imaginative guy. So I look to others who play the game, 10 times more than me, are so much better than me. And then I just take their strats. And then that's why I also watch a bunch of streams. I watch a lot of different streams, trying to cherry pick what can work for me. And then I create my own meta out of that.
But you don't think, that guy has, or, Rich and his team has this strat, but they're missing this because I know this will fit in better. You don't try to sort of augment it at all or even try to build on top of it. You just take it as is. You know what I mean? Just face value.
Well, those guys aren't just, showing these strats and coming up with them. These strats that they're showing you, they've tried many others besides the, these drafts that you see in HGC. They're showing you the drafts that they've come up with and worked and had success with. So these are the most successful drafts that they've had, which is why they're playing them, because they're playing to win.
True.
But on the flip side, the burden of execution for some of these drafts that they have, a lot of people don't have the skill set for. So, there's something to be said about thinking of your own strategies that can work at the lower levels that, hey, we can't execute these higher level strategies. We should try something easier. And you know what? This easier strat may work better because the other people aren't as good either, and they're likely to get caught in these things too. So
it's also why characters like Diablo is so prevalent in our meta, but not so much in the pro meta, because Diablo just RQEs in, and whoever Diablo grabs, the team's going to focus because it's the easiest way to translate who to focus. Or whoever, if your tank is playing ETC, who do you focus? Whoever ETC slides on. I mean,
but where do you think these non pro meta strategies come from? Someone just tries them out, right? They think of it. It's just created out of some guy's mind. What if we did this? And then someone else who you're on the same team with sees that and okay, I played this one game with this 3-stack that did this crazy combo. Let's do it, and it just propagates, right?
Yeah. Sometimes stuff just happens on accident. I was playing a Hero League game a month or two ago where we had a Probius on Braxis holdout.
Yeah.
Normally it's that guy's a solo laner, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to be the 4-man, and we had a Thrall too. I was just like, you know what? This is going to be amazing because Probius clears waves practically instantly. Mm-hmm. So you got the enemy team standing next to no minion waves, and you can stack Crash Lightning very easily all day long. So we ended up killing the other team because the Thrall had 20 stacks by level 7, and it worked out amazing. So
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes these things you just happen upon and they end up working real good as well.
Well, I brought up this whole topic because when I was having this discussion with the other Windheimer, Bacon shut him down. And it wasn't just because not for just thinking of new synergies and combos. I think also when you come up with these synergies, you have to also admit to yourself that they didn't work. And it wasn't an execution thing. I think that was the problem with we had too, is that when you try it out, you have to kind of critically assess, is it just because we couldn't execute it right? Or maybe that the level of execution is too high? Or is this synergy really shit? So I think you have to be really critical with that too.
As
Well,
for
so
that,
Tyrant,
that
wait, can I take this
specific
one?
thing.
Okay, I think the specific synergy that was proposed was Phoenix Uther Kerosene, which was turned out to be garbage. But then the person who suggested it, I think, was still trying to hold on to it, thinking it's like, no, if we just executed it better, something like that. It's
Wait, how is that even supposed to work out? I'm not seeing the synergy.
That's
Exactly.
The thing is, there wasn't a
that's Brett
synergy. We just kind of bought into it. Like we thought that there wasn't. It was supposed to be like a hyper carry type of thing. We were supposed to empower like the Phoenix or something, but it didn't even work out because Uther has a hard time healing Phoenix because half of Phoenix's life is shields, right?
Yeah.
So you have to kind of dip into, the life when he takes damage. So you have to be very spot on with that. And it was the player who suggested it didn't really want to admit that
all right.
that synergy wasn't there.
So with that is him and I had a philosophical difference in terms of the way we approach the game. I find enjoyment in winning and improving, right? So I've already explained how I do that. Like look at streams and copy the pros, and follow the meta or the pros meta. And he approached it as it is a science lab. It's an experiment. Let's give it a shot, whatever it is. And then that first hero combo, the Uther, Kerosene, Divine Shield, Palm with a Phoenix hard carry, I just flat out said, okay, that straight up sucks. It is not going to work. We've already lost horribly using that comp, and he was trying to force it again. And he's like, oh, let's just give it a shot.
We just didn't execute it right. That's the defense.
Yeah, we just didn't.
It's good,
but
we just didn't execute. It's good, but I think you can kind of fall off the rails with that. Trying to convince yourself that your idea sucks, but at some point.
Tower Baron, do you remember the Stitches Artanis elevator comp?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember that?
That was
that
that was a troll move, though. But
we had an idea. We made a meme out of it, but the execution's way too high for it to be useful. Like, yes, it's fun, but that's a comp it's a non-meta comp that we came up with, and it's awful.
Well, the thing is, like, we knew it was awful. In this case, we're trying to, like, he was trying to come up with strats that would be, playable. Like, maybe your goal isn't to get to Masters. Maybe your goal is just to win Bush League. I think definitely you can come up with some stuff for Bush League, strat-wise, that would be totally viable. Say Varian, like what Bacon ran last game against us.
Even Bush League meta is so different from Hero League meta, Quick Match meta.
Yeah.
And
so where do these ideas come from? Like, we can't really look at the pros because it's not really going to apply as equally, right?
No, the pros send out from the pro HGC heavens nuggets of information that we take and try to apply to our games. And obviously, the HGC meta is special because we all know each other, our general playstyle in the hero pool, and try to draft around that and play around that. And it's only a best of one, so you only need to come to the game with a set map and prepared strategy, which is completely different from a best of 5 that HGC players make. So, and Hero League, you're playing with 9 other strangers and just trying to spam a couple heroes where your mechanics are going to be the thing that carries you to victory. So it's just
Your
on a case
mechanics
by
or your,
case
or your team
basis.
strategy?
Mechanics.
It's both. Mechanics. It can't be just
mechanics.
mechanics because each team supposedly has the same number of diamond, gold, silver, plat players, so it evens out. There's got to be something extra, I think, from the team synergy.
I
And I
mean,
just wanted
draft matters, but it's not like you can tell all 4 of your other players to draft exactly what you want, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna play what they're comfortable with. It might not mesh well with you, or it might mesh well, and just based on how well they communicate at all, are they gonna use voice chat? Are you gonna use voice chat? Are you gonna be the one shot calling? Does the team even listen? But outside of those factors, you can't control. The one you can control the most is your own destiny, your own mechanics.
Well, you saw our last game. I had no control over that game. But
You can't have control if you don't leave the top lane.
that's well,
Yeah.
I did the best I could at top lane. So I think just what I wanted to kind of defend the other person Bacon was talking to was that just because it's in the pro scene doesn't necessarily mean that's one and done. You can't kind of experiment outside of it. I think ordinary people or experienced players come up with these strats, and it's worth kind of delving into them to see if you actually enhance upon them or just take the concepts and apply it to a different set of heroes. If maybe your hero pool is a little bit different, it's worth, I think, experimenting instead of just looking at the pro plays and just copying them exactly.
I mean, for sure, there's grandmaster level players who spammed Gazlo or spammed Morales. So
Or spam Lunara. Yeah. These are
The-
non-meta heroes, but they're still able to perform very well.
the meta works and is a meta if you want it to be, and you could flip that on its head and don't give a shit if you want it to, but you're gonna have to work a little bit harder on it, and your mechanics are gonna have to make up for it too, and team synergy. And now I'll say to that guy, like, it got a little heated between us,
It did.
and
it did.
I mean, I should apologize, and I will apologize.
Bacon apologizes, huh?
Well, Bacon said, I should apologize, and I will, but he didn't actually say I apologize.
Well,
I'm
I'm
sorry
not.
for shutting down your bad strategy.
Well, I don't want to apologize here. It seems like it's bad taste. It's gonna be in person. It's gonna be in person, right?
In person or like in person over
Yeah.
comms in person?
On Discord,
Okay.
comms. I mean,
Okay.
well, you want me to fucking fly to California?
Fly out there.
Yeah, fly out there, shake his
Really
hand,
sorry about
buy him a
that.
I'm
lunch.
sorry, we had a disagreement. Now, can you drive me back to the airport? I gotta go back home.
I made some bread.
No, we just we just had some philosophical differences, and it got heated, and yeah.
I know
And-
he's saying that you kind of just threw out everything he was saying. I guess you're a little bit like we were a little bit heated after that supposed Uther Phoenix Karazim combo just got destroyed and there was nothing there, and
I
he was
mean,
still
I would
trying to defend it.
I would be like, can I get a palm? Can I get a D shield? And I would just flat out die. But I mean, it's like,
Also, those two ults are counterintuitive. If you hit palm and shield, like, oh shit.
That's
That's
right.
a nombo.
Well, we worked it out so I would D shield first, and then he
Yeah,
would
you got
palm after.
D shield early, and the palm's the oh shit button.
Yeah, so it was like right after the D shield faded away, the palm would
It's a
come.
lot of
out.
coordination there, man.
Yeah, it is, and it doesn't seem worth it at all. But I
No.
think the fact that, that
Yeah, I don't
your
think
goal is to
Phoenix
have-
puts out that amount of damage to where you
Yeah.
want him to hyper carry like that.
Yeah, and the goal is to have Phoenix at near death. Like, that's the goal. And like, haha, gotcha, bitch. That kind of moment.
the thing is, I think he was taking that synergy very seriously, and
Okay.
Yeah,
hate to
I'd-
say it, but I think Bacon hurt his feelings a little bit. So
I'd rather have Zul'jin in there than
Yeah.
Phoenix if you're gonna
I
have
mean,
a babysitter.
yeah,
All right, then.
but yeah,
so takeaways. It's
let
okay
memes. When you play with me, let memes be dreams.
Mhm.
That's the takeaway.
Yeah, but when you're in quick match by yourself, you can try different talent builds. You can try different strats. That's okay. That's a play around to test on.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like
a little bit more
with every
complicated
new
with the
patch.
team, though. With the team, it's a little bit more complicated. Like with just your talent tree,